Good day everyone, I am Judy Anyates, the reporter of Group 4, and our topic for today is all about education. These are the objectives. First, define education. Trace and describe the educational system of the Philippines. Give the functions and importance of education in this society. Last, evaluate how education functions and affects society. What is education? Education is the social instruction through which society provides its members with important knowledge, including basic facts, job skills, and cultural norms and values. Education is the acquisition of knowledge, habits, skills, and abilities through instruction and training, or through instruction and training, or through self-activity. Education in the Philippines. Education in the Philippines is managed and regulated by the Department of Education, commonly referred to as DepEd. It controls the Philippine educational system, including the creation and implementation of the curriculum and the utilization of funds allotted by the national government. It also managed the constructions of schools, acquisition of books and other school materials, and the recruitment of teachers and staff. Before the Philippines attained independence in 1946, the country's educational system was patterned after the educational system at Spain and United States. There are three types of education. First is the formal education. Formal education refers to the hierarchically structured, chronologically graded educational system from primary school to the university, including programs and institutions for full-time technical and vocational training. At the end of each level, the learners must obtain certification in order or advance to the first level. Formal education shall correspond to the following in basic education. First is the elementary education. Elementary education involves compulsory. Formal education primarily concerned with providing basic education and usually corresponds to a traditional 6 grades or 7 grades, and in addition to preschool program. Such preschool education normally consists of kindergarten schooling but may cover other preparatory courses as well. Second is the secondary education. Secondary education, public school and private school, is concerned primarily with continuing basic education of the elementary level and expanding it to include the learning of employable gainful skills, usually corresponding to 4 years of junior high and 2 years of senior high school. The third is the tertiary education. Institutions of higher education may be classified as either public or private college or university, and public institutions of higher education may further be subdivided into two types: state universities and colleges, and local colleges and universities. The second is the non-formal education. It refers to any organized educational activity outside the established formal system to provide selected types of learning to a segment of the population. As a concept, non-formal education emerged in response to the world crisis in education identified by Philip H. Holmes in 1967, who argued that the formal education system have failed to address the changing dynamics of the environment and the societies. Last is the informal education. It is a lifelong process whereby every individual acquires from daily experiences, attitudes, values, facts, skills and knowledge, or motor skills from resources in his or her higher environment. It offers alternative learning opportunities for the out-of-school youth and adults, especially those who are 15 years old and above and unable to avail themselves of the educational services and programs of formal education. Special education. Special education refers to the education of persons who are physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, or culturally different from so-called normal individuals, such that they require modification of school practices to develop their potential. Special education provides distinct services, curricula, and instructional materials geared to pupils or students who are significantly higher or lower than the average of norm. SPED aims to develop the maximum potential of the child within special needs to enable him or her to become self-reliant and take advantage of the opportunities for a full and happy life. Functions of education in the society. As British sociologist Herbert Spencer explains, functions are important to be performed as they make the society whole. If each function is working well, society attains progress. He lays down the functions of education as follows. First is the productive citizenry. Education system enables citizens to be productive members of a society, as they are equipped with knowledge and skills that could contribute to the development of their society system and its institutions. This highlights the importance of formal and non-formal education in the development of oneself and the society. Consequently, it is crucial for educational systems to adapt to the changing demands of the environment to efficiently capacitate individuals. Being a productive citizen requires critical thinking. One must have the ability to understand his or her duties and be able to respond them by making decisions. Through education, individuals are introduced to concepts concerning democracy, power, and equality, and the like. This promotes greater awareness in his or her society. It encourages vigilance and participation. Education attainment does not only contribute to the individual success but also to the betterment of his or her environment. Number 2 is the self-actualization. Education develops one's sense of self. As a huge part of the discovery process of oneself, education encourages having the vision to become self-actualized. Moreover, it enables one to see your strengths and maintain them. It enables one to determine weakness and adjust to them. This helps one reach full potential and establish oneself as a whole. According to Abraham Maslow, self-actualization is the highest form of human need. It was defined as to become more and more what one is, to become everything that one is capable of becoming. The concept of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is once that level is fulfilled, the next level up is what motivates us. The picture shows the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The first one is the psychological needs. These are biological requirements for human survival, such as air, food, drink, shelter, clothing, warmth, sex, and sleep. If these needs are not satisfied, the human body cannot function optimally. The second is the safety net needs. Protection from elements, security, order, law, stability, freedom from fear. The third is the love and belongingness needs. The need for interpersonal relationships motivates behavior. Examples include friendship, intimacy, trust, and acceptance, receiving and giving affection and love, affiliating, being part of a group, say their family, friends, or work. The fourth is the esteem needs, which Maslow classified into two categories. The first one is esteem for oneself. This includes the dignity, achievement, mastery, and independence. Second is the desire for reputation or respect from others. This includes the status stage. Maslow indicated that the need for respect or reputation is most important for children and adolescents and precedes real self-esteem or dignity. The last is the self-actualization needs. Realizing personal potential, self-fulfillment, seeking personal growth, and peak experiences. However, through education, humans are empowered to experience and learn their true capacity that lead to self-actualization. Humans also tend to find boundless enthusiasm in learning outside the classroom, which is basically through experience. With this, it becomes easier for them to socialize, to identify a career path, to create self-identity, and the like. They will tend to have the ability to analyze, evaluate, and decide on their own. To others, education takes place both in and outside schools. It functions to preserve and transmit the culture. It is, as Durkheim wrote, the means by which society perpetually recreates the conditions of its very existence. Defined in the most general sense, education can occur anywhere, in any setting, through any experience. Thus, broadly conceived, education has the same meaning as socialization. The internalization of culture and learning human behavior. Whether it takes place in or outside of the school system, education is of two kinds, formal and informal. Formal education is imparted by direct instruction, while informal education comes out indirectly. The learner often unaware that he is having a learning experience. The primary function of education is the socialization of the new members of the society. The late President Ramon Magsaysay aptly observed that education is the greatest equalizer of opportunities for everybody. Other most important objectives of education are teaching basic skills such as reading, writing, and arithmetic. Second, helping children develop skills in abstracting thinking and problem solving. Third, transmitting the cultural heritage from which individual may develop an appreciation of their society. Fourth, communicating to children the basic value of the society. Fifth, teaching the special aspects of the culture such as art, music, literature, drama, science, technology, and sports. Teaching vocational skills that help individuals enter the job market. Training citizens for life within the political system of their society. Preparing children to live long and form meaningful relationships with other human beings. So, that is the eighth function of education in the socialization of the new members of the society. Primary education as a human right. Primary education is essential in the early stages of human life. Humans need education to enable them to adapt to the dictates of their society. The United Nations Educational Scientific Cultural Organization, or the UNESCO, declared that education is a fundamental human right and essential for the exercise of all other human rights. It promotes individual freedom and empowerment and yields important development benefits. Yet, millions of children and adults remain deprived of educational opportunities, many as a result of poverty. Normative instruments of the United Nations and UNESCO lay down international legal obligations for the right to education. These instruments promote and develop the right of every person to enjoy access to education of good quality, without discrimination or exclusion. These instruments bear witness to the great importance that member states and the international community attach to normative action for realizing the right to education. It is for government to fulfill their obligations, both legal and political, in regard to providing education for all of good quality and to implement and monitor more effectively strategies. Education is a powerful tool by which economically and socially marginalized adults and children can lift themselves out of poverty and participate fully as citizens. That is why there is no age in entering school. Maybe either you are a mother or a father, or you are in your age, you're able to attend school and to enter school. Although the UN is such powerful global actor that can mandate its members to follow its structure, education deprivation still persists in most societies. This exclusion is socially constructed in unequal settings. Formal education suggests studying in a school or university where everything is systematic. A teacher or professor explains while a student listens and understands. For that, the student pays the teacher. The last relates primarily to the struggles between social classes. Formal education in particular tries to keep pace with the changes in the economy, as can be observed in the constant tuition fee increases in institutions or higher learning. The issue on education taps economical aspect of the society, as classism stands as a barrier to the social development of humans. This also digs on the impact of social inequality as a systematic oppression lies especially on the lower class. They experience discrepancies in educational opportunities due to financial problems. That's all for today. So before we end the lesson, let us summarize our topic. So, there are education in the Philippines that is managed and regulated by Department of Education or the DepEd. There are three types of education. First is the formal education, second is the non-formal education, third is the informal education. Informal education, there are basic education that includes the elementary education, secondary education, and the tertiary education. In elementary education, this is from kindergarten to 6th grades. Well, the secondary education is the junior high school and senior high school, and the tertiary education is the colleges. Second is the non-formal education. Third is the informal education. This includes the special education. There are also the function of education in the society, and the function of education as follows. First is the productive citizenry. Second is the self-actualization. The self-actualization, there are the Maslow hierarchy of needs. First one is the psychological needs. Second, safety needs. Third is the love and belongingness needs, and esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. There are also the primary function of education in the socialization of the new members of the society. They are 8, and there are also primary education as a human rights, and also the normative instruments. So, I hope you learn in this lesson, and I hope you understand how education is important for today. I hope you enjoy and learn something. Thank you.